Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into the dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Tell you what, it's always the people who have the most who somehow view themselves as the biggest victims. Here, Elon Musk is blaming half the country for the fact that a random person reportedly set...
A random person? A random person. So he's going to sit there and he's going to say that this is one incident?
Tesla's on fire in Las Vegas. Now, a few things here. First, Elon says that it's shocking that there's this level of violence and hatred from the left. Again, it wasn't the left that set these Teslas on fire in Vegas. It was...
So I mean, I don't know. Have you guys seen it's just happening in Las Vegas? That's it? That's where this is happening? That's it? That's all you've seen? All right.
Reportedly one person. But I do find it curious that suddenly violence is considered bad again for the Republican Party, a position that was conveniently discarded when a bunch of Trump supporters were bashing in windows at the U.S. Capitol and bludgeoning police officers on January 6th.
Well, it's amazing that you discarded it the entire time that, I don't know, the country was burning down for a year and a half. I don't know. I gotta check your previous videos and see if you were opining on or going out there or just saying that, yeah, COVID's out there. We shouldn't be out there. Were you telling people to go inside when, I don't know, when all that shit was going down?
All incited by the guy who Elon Musk himself spent $250 million electing to the presidency. So perhaps he would have a little more success in pretending that he dislikes violence if he didn't tie his fortunes to the biggest instigator of it. And then Elon says...
The biggest instigator of violence is Donald Trump. That's what you just said. Okay. So let's say, and you're basing that on J6. I would really like to ask you what your knowledge base on J6 is. Well, what do you know about it? How many people were killed that day? Who died that day? How much property was damaged that day?
I thought that the left was supposed to be the party of empathy and caring. Let me ask you all, do you realize why the left, the party of empathy and caring, dislikes Elon Musk? It's because his first act as...
Because they're told to. That's why. It's because they were told to. And how you know that is because they loved him before, right? And the orders came out. He's with this guy. We must dislike him.
Musk, it's because his first act as shadow president was to block the very first spending bill in December, and the new bill that replaced it literally no longer included funding for childhood cancer research.
Oh my God. It didn't have funding for child cancer. Wow. Unbelievable.
Surprisingly, Musk opted not to rail against that bill. It's that his next act was to dismantle USAID, which for only half of 1% of the budget delivers food and clean water to the impoverished and does HIV prevention work where it's needed most. It's because his next act was to gut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which exists solely to help Americans recover money from predatory financial institutions that have defrauded them. It's
like what? I mean, you're throwing a lot of shit out there now, but I mean, does it help the APR on the credit card bills? You know, that's pretty predatory. You know, I don't know.
Because his administration is demanding $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid and $230 billion in cuts to food stamps, which are final lifelines for these people who need it most. It's because veterans are getting fired by the thousands. It's because education funding is being slashed, healthcare is being cut, climate initiatives are being cut, and yet Musk himself is somehow benefiting more and more and more from these government contracts.
Just so that we're clear, nothing has been cut, right? I was against the continuing resolution that went through. Why? Because it didn't cut anything. So you're kind of being a little disingenuous here. Nothing's been cut. I wish it was. Nothing's been cut.
So when Musk wonders why the party of empathy and caring doesn't like him, it is precisely because they are the party of empathy and caring. In fact, Musk goes on to say that he's never done anything harmful. He's only been productive. Now, I truly don't know whether he is being ignorant or lying, but either way, the delusion is beyond apparent. Since he's taken over, he has acted in such a way that would give him, almost unilaterally, more political and financial advantage by eliminating all regulations that would rein him and his companies in. For example, the FAA had several open investigations into Tesla, and the FAA had recently ordered SpaceX to carry out a formal investigation into the loss of a Starship vehicle during a test flight, and previously ordered over $630,000 in civil penalties against SpaceX. And now, all of that goes away. But sure, he's never done anything harmful, only productive.
So him doing something harmful is a result of an investigation going away into one of his companies. I mean, all right. If you can show that that's a result of him being there, and maybe the fact that he was being investigated may have been a result of the fact that he was trying to help the other person get elected. When did these suits come about? When were these fines levied? And it is super interesting that the person that you're demonizing right now just saved the two people that the government couldn't rescue from space, right? The government couldn't do it. He did it.
I've gone through this list before, so I apologize if you've heard it, but it is 100% worth repeating. At USAID, which again, our first target of Doge, the Inspector General had already initiated a probe into Starlink satellite terminals in the Russia-Ukraine war. That Inspector General was fired and the investigation shut down. But again, Elon's never done anything harmful, only productive.
What was that? What are you talking about? You little fucking Inspector General limited probe into Starlink satellite terminals providing USAID is a shutter wrecking ball agency. Okay, so there was a probe into Starlink, and it was shut down. Is that, I don't know, is that kind of similar to the investigation that was shut down into Burisma in Ukraine? I don't know. I mean, I wasn't on the YouTubes at that time. Were you railing against that at that time?
That Inspector General was fired and the investigation shut down. But again, Elon's never done anything harmful, only productive. Or how about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? Consumers submitted over 300 complaints about Tesla to the CFPB, and yet Trump fired CFPB Director Rohit Chhabra and installed Project 2025 architect Russ Vought as the Bureau's acting director. Musk himself tweeted, "Delete CFPB" less than a week.
I just the whole Project 2025 thing. Listen, if you're going to talk about it, can we all just read the thing first? Let's all just read it. Maybe I'll do another video where we can just go through it point by point and see what's going on there with the Project 2025 thing, because it's like, I want to say probably 99% of the people that espouse this thing, they haven't looked at it. So I don't know. I just find that interesting.
After the agency finalized a rule that could put his planned collaboration with Visa to offer a real-time payment system on the platform into the agency's crosshairs. In fact, here's Elizabeth Warren drawing that link quite clearly.
Elon Musk, as you know, he bought Twitter, and he's just lost money hand over fist on that investment. So he's had a bit.
Has he lost money hand over fist on that investment? I mean, you guys just say things, right? You say things and you say them over and over and over again, and then try to make it true. So.
Better idea, better from his perspective, and that is he's going to do X money. And the idea here is he's going to be everything on the financial side and social side for everybody in the country, maybe around the world if he gets the chance. There's just one bump in the way, and that's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's not that they say no. You can go ahead and build a new tech platform, a financial system, good for you, but you've got to follow the basic rules of not cheating people, not lying to people, and not sucking up their personal data and selling it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like every other big tech company does right now.
He doesn't like that. So he's announced he's going to do X. What a great idea. Move the bump out of the way before you start. It's a little like a bank robber saying, well, before I go into the lobby with my sacks that I'm ready to fill up, I'm just going to fire the cops.
Yeah.
And now I'll go in and take the money.
But again,
oh my God, it's just so profound. So profound. I got to look up that interview he did with Elizabeth Warren. I cannot see anybody with like loony lefty ideas, like sitting down for a long form discussion. It's gotta be hard, man. Has to be. Because what do you talk about the entire time? You're just a fluffer. Like, you're just talking about what? There's nothing there. There's nothing in the conversation. And that's why it's so hard. Don't know who this guy is. He's got shitload of fucking followers. I'm gonna take a look more of his stuff, but let's see what else he has to say for right now.
Elon's never done anything harmful, only productive. Or how about the Department of Labor, which oversees the National Labor Relations Board, the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, all of which had over a dozen open investigations into Tesla and SpaceX regarding alleged unfair.
Dude, a dozen? That's it? That's pretty damn good. I mean, you just you just rattle off like some of the biggest companies in the country right now, and all of those agencies, they had a dozen investigations going on, and like the Department of Equal Opportunity. Come on, equal. So, one of the investigations that I know that was done by the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission was the fact that he wasn't hiring immigrants, even though he's not allowed to. It's just like that, and that's why these things need to be completely abolished. Completely abolished. It's such a scam. Like we're being bled dry to fund these. It's so aggravating. You know, like when you look at your pay stub and you just see that money flying out, and now, you know, you have somebody there that's telling you this is where some of this money's going. Like they're taking your money and they're doing this shit with it. It is infuriating. It's infuriating, and that's why they're in panic mode right now. It's an all out panic, right? Because what are they going to do? We have to figure something out. We have to throw shit at them because people are going to start waking up and finding out what the hell's going on.
Labor practices, safety violations, and discriminatory work practices. And in response, well, Trump fired the Department of Labor Inspector General, the chair of the NLRB, blocked their ability to rule on cases.
So when Trump goes into office, is he just supposed to keep everybody there that's there? Like that's what he's supposed to do? So you become the boss and everybody's there that's doing the things you don't want them to do. You're just going to say, yeah, just keep doing that. Like what world do you live in?
Gutted the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs via executive order, which prevented their investigations findings about Tesla from being made public, and for good measure, fired 2 of the 3 Democratic commissioners on the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Again, Elon's never done anything harmful, only productive. The EPA had multiple lawsuits against Tesla over violations of the Clean Air Act and hazardous waste laws at the company's automotive manufacturing plant in Fremont, California. Trump fired the Inspector General. The FEC was set to rule on a number of complaints filed during the 2024 election cycle, including complaints regarding Musk's America PAC, so Trump illegally removed the FEC chair from her post. The Department of the Interior...
He illegally removed her? And that's, I guess you could say that. I don't know. What was illegal about it? And were there any subsequent actions taken? Like, did that person sue or something like that?
Runs the Fish and Wildlife Service, which Musk has repeatedly clashed with. Trump fired the DOI Inspector General. The DOJ filed a lawsuit in 2023 against SpaceX for allegedly engaging in hiring discrimination and investigations into whether Tesla had been candid in describing the features of its vehicles. Trump has since remade the DOJ in his image. The SEC sued Twitter in January, alleging Musk misled shareholders about his Twitter stock purchases in 2022 and ordered Musk to pay the federal government as much as $150 million. Trump has since pushed out the SEC chair, leaving the agency with a Republican majority. In each of these instances...
So Trump's supposed to take office and leave everybody in that didn't want him there. It's just...
The principal beneficiary isn't some nebulous concept of waste, fraud, and abuse, as Musk loves to claim. It is Elon Musk himself. He is getting rid of the cops who regulate his own business interests and branding this as a win for the American people, all the while claiming that he's never done anything harmful, only productive. So look, I am not advocating for the destruction of any property, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, but the victimhood shtick is getting old. Elon loves to frame himself as some beacon of virtue, but he's either lying to himself or lying to you. Just like Trump, this is another thin-skinned billionaire who feels like he's getting the short ends of the stick, all the while he is literally the reason that people won't get healthcare, that people won't get clean water, or...
Wow, like just fucking amazing claims. Like he's literally the reason why people won't get healthcare. Or clean water.
Food, that people won't get...
food. He's literally...
Education, won't have...
They won't have education.
Jobs, won't
have jobs.
Relief from predatory banks, but hey...
Relief from predatory banks.
At least Tesla and SpaceX will get hefty government contracts, despite constant assurances, by the way, of no conflicts of interest. This whole charade is as tired as it is transparent. Elon Musk is interested in helping one person, and that's Elon Musk. The only way you could miss it is if you're burying your head in the sand.
Yeah. Only way you can miss it is if you... I don't know. Just see what the hell's going on. Wow. That was impressive, man. Wow.
Before you
That was something else, man. This guy, I got to take a look at him. He's fiery. He's interesting. He's I don't know who writes his scripts and stuff like that, but wow. I mean, it's not very hard to just pick apart everything he said line by line, mainly because it's just it's a big wall of shit. He picks out a little thing and says, this is the reason. Oh, good Lord. But guys, thanks for coming out. Give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. We'll do more of Brian, whatever the heck his name is. Let's see. What is Brian up to? Brian's up to 4 million subs. Wow. That is a monster channel. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. We'll do this again real soon.